Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Merry Christmas. Today we're going to do another episode of Bites and Nibbles with Breck. This recipe actually started out on the live stream today where one of my viewers mentioned that they were kind of craving and obsessing about blueberry muffins and that they were going to make some blueberry muffins. And I thought, you know what, that sounds like a great idea. And I went to one of my cookbooks and found a really simple recipe for blueberry muffins. So that is what we're going to do today. Let's get going. These are the ingredients for our blueberry muffins, and I think one of the things that sort of attracted me to the idea of doing blueberry muffins is when I was looking at the recipe, I realized I had like most of the ingredients already in stock. In fact, the only thing I needed to get was the blueberries themselves. So here are our ingredients. We have some granulated sugar, some flour, a little bit of salt, some vegetable oil, some baking powder, a little milk, an egg, and some fresh blueberries. Now you can use frozen blueberries, you can use canned blueberries, but given a choice, I'd prefer to go fresh. Why wouldn't you, right? Let's get going. Now I love blueberry muffins, so since I know that these are going to be really good, I'm going to double the recipe. Now the first step in the recipe is to preheat the oven to 400 degrees, and then you have a choice. You can either, if you're going to cook the cupcakes directly in the cupcake tin, you can spray it with a cooking spray, or you can do like I'm going to do, which I'm going to use the little cupcake cups. And so I'm going to put the cupcake cups into the muffin tin, and we'll move on to the next step. So next we're going to whisk together our milk, our vegetable oil, and 2 eggs. Like I said, I'm doubling my recipe, so it's actually going to be 2 eggs, not 1. So there's 1 egg, 2 eggs. All right, and I got just a wire whisk. You can use a fork if you want, but since I've got the wire whisk, I'm going to actually use the wire whisk. We're just going to kind of whisk it all together, get it all mixed up. So we have the liquid part of our batter. And I think that looks pretty good. Pretty well mixed up, right? Okay, so we're going to put that aside. Alright, so I've moved the oil, the milk, and the egg into my mixer bowl. I put the whisk on it, and now I'm going to just mix in my dry ingredients. This is my flour, my sugar, my baking powder, and a little bit of salt. And we're just going to kind of mix it in until it all kind of gets blended together. Now the recipe says the batter will be a little bit lumpy, and so we're not going to worry too much about that. Alright, we're going to speed it up a little bit here so we get it all nice and mixed together here. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're getting there. Now I'm going to let this beat a little bit, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to measure out my blueberries because that's the next step. Alright, now we're going to just kind of mix in our blueberries here. And blueberries are kind of delicate, so we're gonna go nice and we're not gonna mix them too long. We're just gonna kind of get them in there until they're all nice and blended in. Now next, I'm just gonna spoon the batter into the individual cups here. I'm not sure exactly how much to put in here, so we're gonna kind of eyeball it here. They say kind of mix it in, divide it evenly among the cups, but since I've actually doubled the recipe, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but we'll just kind of figure it out here as we go along, right? We're going to figure it out together. I know this probably is not enough for these, so we'll probably end up putting more in here, but All right, the oven's reached our preheat temperature of 400 degrees. So we're gonna open it up. We're gonna put our muffins in. And we're gonna cook them at 400 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. What I'll probably end up doing is I'll cook them for 20 minutes and then we'll go from there and we'll look at and see if they need another 5 minutes. Because it's better to, need to do it a little longer than to overdo it. So catch up with you in about 20 minutes. All right, 20 minutes have gone by. They still aren't quite golden brown like they're supposed to be, so I'm going to give them that extra 5 minutes. All right, that extra 5 minutes has passed by, and I think we're better off now because they have more of a golden brown look to them. So we're going to pull these out. We're going to let them cool off a little bit, and then we're going to put them onto a wire whisk. And let's see, where can we put it? We're going to set them right there. And we'll put them on a wire whisk in a moment, and then we'll put the second batch in. All right, I got the first batch out and on the wire rack. We're going to let them cool for a little while. And I got the second batch ready to go in. Now, I didn't calculate exactly perfect, so I'm going to get 11 muffins out of the second batch, not 12. But that's okay. That just means they'll all be a little bit bigger, right? Can't complain about that. Let's put these in the oven. And since we knew it took 25 minutes last time, we're going to do that again. See you in 25 minutes. All right, we got the second batch of blueberry muffins out of the oven, cooling on the wire rack, and we're actually going to have a little dinner right now because I got some fish on the grill. But when we come back from that, I'm going to do a taste test on these. But I expect they're going to be pretty good. They look pretty good. All right, it's time to try out our blueberry muffins. They sat out a little bit, so they kind of got kind of cold. So I nuked them in the microwave again. And I've actually just split them in half and put a little bit of butter in there because I always like a little bit of butter on my blueberry muffins. So let's give this thing its taste test. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. Now I probably would have put a little bit more sugar in it. I kind of like it when there's a little bit more of a sweet flavor in the dough itself. But there's a lot of blueberries, as you can see in there, and it got really good flavor. And like I said, I love it with butter. So. Let's try another one here. Yeah, that is good. You get a lot of blueberries in every bite, and that's always a good thing because that's really what makes blueberry muffins, right? Because they wouldn't call them blueberry muffins if they didn't have blueberries in them. So that's sort of the point, but they're good. Like I said, a little bit more sweet. I've seen sometimes people take like large grain sugar cubes and sprinkle it on the top of the muffin, and that sometimes adds to the flavor too. I might consider doing that also next time. But these are pretty good. Check them out if you want. I'll put the recipe below. And I think that's all that I have for today. So thank you as always for watching. And I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Merry Christmas.